It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Get ready for epic savings at Best Buy. Right now, you can save up to $700 on select Alienware and Dell gaming products. Perfect for leveling up your gaming experience. Plus, grab the latest Android Google Pixel at an unbeatable price. Don't miss these incredible deals. Shop now at bestbuy.com and upgrade your tech today.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
It is the Pete Sousa Show. We are coming to you live. We're in Tucson, Arizona. Little makeshift studio. Mike Hamilton likes to call it a bunker. Call it what you want, okay? This is us. We're on the road. Scotty Swingler's holding it down in Waco, back at the Alico building. Internet situations and problems, as far as I know from the home base, have been worked out. And here we are. Look at this. I mean, this is the World Wide Web. Here I am in Arizona talking to you wherever you are, and Scotty's back in Waco. I mean, is this amazing or what? A crappy day. Overall, you can't try to lead with the heart and what's going on. And, the first thing I got to talk about, I was just on a Big 12 show talking about Baylor basketball. And, of course, the topic of Baylor came up. And then, before I came on, I talked to Chris Lowe, who was doing the Zach Owens show, and you got to talk about a death in the family, basically, for Baylor folks. And J.J. Joe, Baylor, great quarterback, radio analyst right now for Baylor football, passing away. And, Scotty, I'll bring you in right away because I don't know that anybody else is more apt to give a synopsis or to provide context for a guy like J.J. Joe. I'm not fit to do that. I'm not from Baylor or from Waco, but I know that he has meant so much to people, in that community there and around Baylor. Like, just describe. I hear a little feedback coming from me, so I'll turn it over to you. Describe a little bit about, who he is for Baylor, what he embodied, and how great of a loss this is.
Yeah, it's really hard to put into words, Pete. I've been trying to come up with words. I'm hoping by the time I do my own show in a couple weeks, I'll have the right words. I came to know J.J. Joe because I was born in the 90s. I did not get to watch him play, but I came to know him as the analyst for Baylor football, which he's been doing for over 20 years. And as a guy that grew up idolizing John Morris, I just cannot tell you how many times I've had J.J. Joe's voice in my car, in my ears as I listen to Baylor football. And really, for me as a kid growing up in Waco, the gold standard as far as radio analysis, color commentary goes. Not only that, but I shared this on Twitter. Just an A-plus class act, good man by every account. You can't find a single bad take on J.J. Joe as far as just an outstanding individual person. He actually reached out to me a few weeks ago. We have never met in person. And he reached out just because he had been following me on Twitter to let me know he was praying for me in some of my life stuff right now. And just because that's the kind of human he was. He loved people well. He loved Baylor. When you want to, I've got a couple of his radio calls here that I'd like to share because it's hard to think of Baylor football over the last 20 years and not hear him celebrating in the background often as John Morris is trying to call a big play because he just loved his school. And then, again, I didn't get to watch him play, but on the football field, Grant Taft said the Veer offense and J.J. Joe were created to go together. He was just an icon. The thing, if you ask any football people about J.J. Joe, they'll say he was the master of sleight of hand. You did not know where that football was when J.J. Joe had it. There's one highlight that I could not find that maybe we'll share. Baylor will share it the next couple days. There's a highlight out there somewhere where he fakes a handoff. He puts the football behind his back with a defensive lineman bearing down in his face. And as he gets crushed, he just flips it behind him. No look to a receiver running around the back for a reverse. It is like the most badass, amazing Baylor football highlight that I could not find this morning. I've got some other highlights we might show later, but all that to say,
and if I can provide any backdrop for that,
please do.
Yeah. That was a time when now in high school, everybody's running the wide open West Coast offense or, passing, right? Like 5 wide receivers, shotgun. That was back in the time when every high school was running the option, and he did it better than anybody. And in the college level, especially in a time where it's like you had guys like Jamal guys like Barry Higgins in Colorado, and then you had guys like J.J. Joe. Major Harris in West Virginia, he was one of those. I love sleight of hand. That is the best way to put it. And as a guy, it's hard to imagine anyone saying anything negative about this dude. Again, I parachuted in here to this Baylor football family, and just to be on the outside of it is pretty cool. But everybody talks so highly of this guy. What else can you tell us, Scotty, about him as a person and as a man? Anything else you gleaned over the years from watching him play and from hearing about him?
Yeah, again, I don't know. I did not know him personally. We interacted on Twitter a few times. We texted a handful of times. And I can just tell you he was genuinely kind, genuinely cared about people. And again, what I kind of remember from his radio calls is like the enthusiasm and the passion he brought. The advantage for him, I think, of being the official Baylor athletics, analysis guy on the radio is that he didn't have to hide his fandom, right? So you would hear JJ Joe, if the Bears were in a tough situation, just go, oh, like he would just groan, like it hurt, like, oh, that's my team. And then again, I've got some clips we can play later in the show.
Yeah, let's play some of those clips now.
Okay, so I've got two that were easy to pull. One is from RG3's Heisman moment, and one is from when Baylor won the 2021 Big 12 championship, and it's got some music behind it, which is annoying. But in both clips, what I want you to hear is JJ Joe just being one of us, and by that I mean loving his team. Check this out.
15 seconds to go. Griffin steps up, slides to the left side. He's throwing for the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Baylor! Oh, it's caught by Terrence Williams. Fourth down and goal from the one. Hand up, running left, trying to get to the corner. He didn't get there. He did not get there. He stopped short. He is stopped short of the goal line. Bears hold the Cowboys out of the end zone. Baylor's going to take over.
You can just hear him in both those clips. I think his most iconic moment that a lot of people remember, I saw this on Twitter already, is that touchdown! Whoa! But like before Terrence Williams has even caught the football, JJ Joe's like, he got it! Like, he's just pumped, man. He's one of us, bro. He's one of us. Like,
All right, kill your mic so we stop that going, and I'm going to read just a text we got yesterday from our buddy Zach Burke. And I thought this was really cool. Am I still echoing, huh? I'm still receiving a little bit of an echo.
Okay, I don't think it's coming through on YouTube or here, but I'll keep
clicking
stuff.
Cool. So Zach Burke, one of our guys, obviously part of the Road Good Network family, shared this yesterday. He said, JJ was always great. I got to sit in on a few Baylor football broadcasts back in the day, and he was always so full of laughs. He would slowly start to lose clothes the longer a broadcast would go on, too. Halftime, it was his belt. By the third quarter, he was walking around in his dress socks and his shoes off somewhere. Incredibly sad to hear. That's our guy, Zach Burke, talking about. And we will, luckily, right, hear more about JJ Joe over the next, month, hopefully forever, right? And it's really cool that we have his voice. And having that be the soundtrack to some of the greatest moments in Baylor football history. So, he will live on forever. And his legacy will live on forever. Again, I worked with him probably one time. He came on Inside the 12. And everybody looked around when he was done and was like, wow, that's probably the best guest we've had all year. And you're talking about all these prolific guests that you have on a show like that. I was texting with somebody around the Baylor football family this morning, and they appreciated that JJ always kept it authentic, right? And told it like it was. And that's the kind of guy you want representing your school. And also, as a fan, that's the kind of guy you want delivering the stories to you, right? Somebody who's telling you the truth. Somebody who's not going to dress it all up like some PR machine. That's not who the guy was, but he was also an extremely positive dude. So lots of love to JJ Joe and his family. There's no way we could start this show off talking about anything else. And I appreciate everybody letting us know that we had an echo during that somber segment, but important to get that out there. More somber stuff, man. We got to talk about Luka playing for the Lakers. There's no way to transition from that last topic to the next, but we're going to try and do our best. And, I saw some of the game last night. Luka, performance-wise, you look at the box score, his three was not falling, right? Otherwise, he would have had 40 points. But he's still – it's funny, when I opened up the box score, I looked for Luka's stats underneath the Mavs. That's where my muscle memory still is. But his line overall, played 35 minutes, 19 points, 6 of 17 from the field. 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. He had 15 rebounds and he had 12 assists. So you get that triple-double, right? I mean, come on. You get a triple-double. But one of the more frustrating parts for this, I think for Mavericks fans, because now it's on a national stage. Like it's kind of been, it was in your face when it first went down about 3 weeks ago, maybe more than, I think it's like 25 days at this point, but who's counting? But on a national stage now, you're reminded of just how discombobulated your organization is and how bad this trade really just stinks to the high heaven. And Nico Harrison, a couple things I want to talk about. The first point I want to make, and I don't want to be scattered all over the place, it's very easy to have issues with Nico Harrison right now. The trade speaks for itself. You ripped out the heart and soul of so many Mavericks fans all over the DFW and the country, right? Not only that, but now you refuse to keep a low profile. On Sunday's game, the Mavs were playing, I'm pretty sure they had a home game, and it was on ABC, so it's a national game. And there he is decked out. I swear I think he was wearing like a pink suit, okay? But it was very easy to find him. Rob Pelinka was also in the building, so he's glad-handing the guy that he made the trade with. And Rob Pelinka was back in the building. Oh, no, it was actually a road game because the game was at Golden State. Rob Pelinka was there because he was Andre Iguodala's agent. And Nico was there because the Mavs were playing Golden State. And I guess now he feels it's his duty to travel everywhere with the team. I don't know if he did that before. Having worked in sports and for professional teams, it is not altogether that commonplace that the general manager goes on every trip with you. Maybe he feels like it's his rite of passage now because he made this trade, or because maybe he's doing it for the right reasons, because he wants to be out there in front of all this stuff as it goes down. But the optics are no good. I mean, again, last night he's wearing another like vibrant suit where you can't miss him, and he's staring down Luka in warm-ups. It's like, dude, just chill for a little bit. I'm not saying like, I get it, it's a basketball decision, and there's so much that we don't know. But what I do know is a lot of Mavericks fans are hurting right now. And a lot of Mavericks fans are not feeling great about this organization and the decision that you made to trade one of the best players possibly in the history of the franchise, probably would have been without question, to one of the best teams in your conference that is now going to compete for an NBA title. They are now 7-2 since you made this boneheaded move to ship him to the best team in probably all of basketball when you encompass like a global, when you put your arms around the sport globally. Nobody is more feared or has more history than the Lakers or the Celtics. Well, you traded them to the Lakers because they're in your conference. It's so easy for me to get wound up about this and to go kind of fan on it because I don't know that the whole like, and this is my heart and soul talking more so than my head, but the whole him being out there and just looking arrogant and showing us his incompetence, it's very easy to get further out on the Mavs. And they may not make the playoffs this year. Now they're like, I think, a game and a half. Like, if they were to drop another 2 games, they'll be out of the play-in game situation. And maybe that's where they should go right now, because maybe we'd all be better off if we can just get Nico Harrison and the Mavericks organization like on ice for a whole summer, and maybe they can do some kind of reboot, because from a PR perspective, this is atrocious. And I'll take it now back to Luka. Sometimes God does for you what you can't do for yourself, bro. And what I mean by that is like, Luka, like, congratulations. This organization, the Mavericks, I mean, it goes back to the Maya Angelou quote. When people show you who they are, believe them. Your organization that you loved and played for, and if this doesn't make your uprooting out of an area and a fan base that you had grown to love and literally had grown up with over the past 5 years or so, it doesn't make that any easier. But your future is much brighter. The Los Angeles Lakers, for all the pomp and circumstance, the Buss family, now Jeannie runs the team, they have taken very good care of their stars, right? Historically. I mean, giving Magic Johnson a lifetime contract for $1 million a year back when that was totally unheard of. That was the start of, okay, that was Dr. Jerry Buss and his first real big pick himself. Magic was a part of the Laker family. And right, wrong, or indifferent, he was a guy who they put all their investment in. Obviously, right, not wrong. I mean, the Lakers dynasty was built around Magic and Kareem and those guys. Okay, you go forward. How about Kobe, right? The Lakers gave Kobe an amazing contract for him when it probably didn't behoove the rest of the organization. But it was out of extreme loyalty to Kobe Bryant, really, that they did that. They didn't want him going anywhere else. You look at LeBron. They drafted Bronny. That was like a wink and a hey, we got you, LeBron, to their superstars. So I can say this to Luka Doncic, like if I was ever talking to him man to man, like, dude, this is going to, long term, this is the best case scenario you have ever had, right? I mean, this is really a great opportunity for you. So congratulations, dude. Like, you're going to be better off now having been traded to this organization than you would have been playing for the Mavericks. You took the Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year, and they traded you for a bag of friggin' potato chips, dude. I mean, Anthony Davis is a great player, but he's always hurt, and he's 6 years older than Luka. The trade makes 0 sense. And to see last night in front of all of our eyes, having it played out, if you're a Mavericks fan, last night was like being a single guy who was on Instagram looking at, and this is honestly like, you're on Instagram and you're looking at your ex-girlfriend living her best life, right? Except for this isn't even Instagram, because Luka doesn't curate the national basketball coverage, right? He doesn't work for TNT. This is actually reality. Instagram's BS. This is worse. This is if your ex-girlfriend, which none of us can relate to, were to have a documentary on her life where everything was sunshines and unicorns and rainbows, right? A documentary that she didn't produce, right? Like, this is literally, we're getting not only the 30,000 foot view some days, but like last night, we're getting it right up close and personal. Like, this is what is playing out before your eyes. And here's even worse. You've given this guy, Luka, like a bug up his ass, and he's going to play his ass off now. Like, and he is never going to let Mavericks fans forget about this trade. So honestly, for Luka, it's only going to get better. For Mavs fans, it's only going to get worse. So if I were you, I would do what Scotty did. By the way, a much lauded move by our good friend Scotty Swingler, pledging his allegiance to the Lakers, dropping all ties with the Dallas Mavericks. By the way, that video we did with Scotty got about 7,000 views. People were obsessed with Scotty. Who doesn't love Scotty? But look, go put that picture back up, Scotty. That's last night. That's the suit that this dude wore. Okay, sitting right down in the first level, totally visible, ice grilling the guy he traded. What are you doing? Like, seriously. Like, I am so done with this guy because, again, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was way closer to that situation than I'll ever be. And there's more around it that I don't know. I understand that. But what I do know is the optics are awful, and there are people involved in this that paid a lot of money to support the Mavs, paid a lot of money to support Luka Doncic, and you have stuck it right where the sun didn't shine. All those people. Clearly, you weren't thinking about them when you made that decision. And, you're not always supposed to. But, boy, this looks really bad. And last night was a reminder of how bad it is. Speaking of bad, Cam Stewart's going to join us next. We're going to talk about Baylor basketball. They hit bottom against Colorado. That was a game that I had a chance to call. And they only dug deeper last night on the road at Cincinnati. Now, we're getting questions of whether this team will make the NCAA tournament. I still believe they will, but Cam is the host of Locked On Baylor. I'm curious as to what he is telling Baylor Nation, and also nobody better to discuss, the sadness around Baylor and JJ Joe. So Cam Stewart coming up, the Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacek's, D1 Dallas, of course, Crawford Austin Properties and Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers. If you see me on TV, on the Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers commercial, that is not acting, that is real. I got into a car accident. I was up a creek without a paddle, and Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers made me whole. Don't forget that. The Pete Sousa Show, live from Tucson, Arizona, continues after this.
Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At 25 Home, our ultimate goal is to provide you with a transformative experience, making each day feel like it has an extra hour. We believe your home is more than just a space, it's a sanctuary where comfort, relaxation, and happiness thrive. Discover the difference at 25 Home today. Shop now at 25home.com.
I need to get real excited.
Sure.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Sheridan Vasquez, and this is Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions. And I will be interviewing some of your favorite musicians and maybe some you've never heard before. Join me on Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions for something new every time. You can find Sheridan Soundcheck Sessions anywhere you get your podcasts or at roguemediamusic.com. Yeehaw. And keep the music playing.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Want to turn your passion into profit? With Blogify, creating a blog has never been easier. Build, customize, and grow your site with powerful tools designed for beginners and pros alike. Start sharing your story today and watch your audience grow with Blogify. Visit blogify.ai today for a free 3-day trial. That's Blogify, Blogify.ai today. Overwhelmed by your inbox? Clean Email is here to help. Organize, clean, and manage your emails with powerful automation tools. Say goodbye to spam and clutter and enjoy a stress-free inbox. Try Clean Email today at cleanemail.com. That's CLEAN email.com. Stay connected no matter where you are with eSIM-X. Say goodbye to expensive roaming charges and physical SIM cards. With access to over 200 global carriers, we make mobile connectivity seamless and affordable for travelers worldwide. Join the future of communication today at eSIMX.com. That's ESIMX.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Easy Sun has been living fearlessly under the sun since 2016. Born from sailors' need for convenient sun protection, our mineral sunscreen is crafted with natural ingredients offering broad spectrum protection against UVA and UVB rays. Safe for your skin and the environment, stay protected on the go with Easy Sun, your ultimate sun care solution. Visit EasySun.com today. That's EEZYSUN.com.
The Pete Sousa Show continues with my man, Pots and Pans. Here he is, Cam Stewart.
I thought you wanted to talk some Mary Kate today. Is that not what we're getting to?
Mary Kate what?
Pete was not on Twitter yesterday. That's a good thing, Pete.
Why?
That is
What
a good
was
thing.
going on?
You haven't heard this story?
No, tell me.
This old Miss Sorority girl and her relations with her boyfriend.
The guy, I saw, you know what? So apparently a guy slept with his son's girlfriend?
Yeah.
And that's true?
Twitter says it's true. This was all over social media yesterday. Just
I
like
woke up this
couldn't
morning
escape
and I
it.
saw a tweet, and it's an AI-generated tweet of the man speaking about why he had sex with his son's girlfriend. Because in the SEC, it just means more.
I was gonna say 2 sides to every story. 2 sides to every story, man. She's
Cam.
very
Cam, where are you at after last night's loss?
Chicago. Oh, you mean like emotionally?
Yes. I got to turn my volume up. Keep talking.
Dude, I don't know, man. They shouldn't have lost that game last night, but was anybody like stunned? They just
No.
lost to Colorado. Like, I don't know. It's just I feel embattled at this point. You know, I'm just like, okay, yep, they lost again. I still don't understand where this certainty is coming from. Last week from Lenardi saying they had a 97% chance to make the tournament before these last 2 games. Now that's got to be slipping pretty good after losing to 2 of the bottom 5 teams in the conference, including a team you beat by 20 points. Beat by 20 points last month. Held them to 46 in the whole game. They had 39 in the first half in the game last night. At this point, Pete, the way I look at it is like nothing you can do. Their next game is in March. You're not changing anything. This team that's out there is what they are. And what they are is not very good and not very focused, I should say, because they have some skill out there. And you see what happens when they do have focus. At least this one was for a whole half and not for a final 2 minutes like most of their games when they're actually showing some effort. But there's one play that really stuck out to me in the game last night that I think is a microcosm of the season. It's right before halftime. Okay, Cincinnati gets an offensive rebound with about 24 seconds left. And a good 8 or 10 seconds run off the clock before they stop the game because the shot clock was supposed to reset to 20, not turn off under 24 seconds. So they go to the monitor, they do it. So this is like a 2 or 3 minute delay going to the monitor and figuring this time out. And obviously, both sets of coaches know what's going on here. I have no doubt that Scott Drew and his coaching staff are like, okay, if we get the ball, we're going to have about 4 seconds left here. And they run down the clock. Cincinnati runs down the clock. Baylor gets a rebound. And with 4.5 seconds, Jalen Celestine just throws up a goddamn half-court prayer with 4 seconds left. And everyone in the arena is like, what the hell are you doing? And to me, I'm like, what are these guys doing for this 2 or 3 minutes? That's like Chris Webber calling the timeout when there's no timeouts. How low of a basketball IQ do you have to sit there for those full 2 or 3 minutes, knowing that you're going to have 4 to 5 seconds left and just throwing it as soon as you touch the ball? That to me is the perfect encapsulation. This team does have talent, although it doesn't look like it a lot of the time. They just don't have any focus, any cohesiveness. And oh yeah, by the way, does that become a big possession? They lose the game by 2 points. Do you look back at that and think, hey, maybe we would have liked a shot at the rim, a real look at the rim when we have 4.5 seconds. Instead, Cincinnati gets a look after that and misses their heave. But I think it hits the rim. It's that is what I'm talking about with this team. It looks like a lot of the time that they just don't have talent, but clearly they do. They don't have any direction. They don't have any cohesiveness. They don't have any team in this team.
Yeah, it's odd because I see them come together every time there's a stoppage of the court. And, there's Norshad and he's got everybody huddled around. And it seems like they want to be close, right? But there's something missing there. They're missing that connective tissue that has made them so good in years past. Do you allocate that to injuries? Do you allocate that to fatigue with some of the guys having to play more? Or do you allocate that to, and I don't like to do this, and I truly don't like to do this, but the brain drain from the staff, right? You lose Alvin Brooks, you lose John Jacobs. How much of that really is coming into play? Are we seeing some of that now transfer to the play on the floor?
I think we've seen a little bit of all of that in this season, but these are good coaches, and they have a great head coach. They have a Hall of Fame head coach. If it was just that, it would be figured out by March. You wouldn't be talking about 16-12. I think they're at now.
Yeah.
I just think this. I just don't think it's a good group. You know, we've seen before. We've seen Baylor teams ravaged by injuries that come together and win big games. 2022, they at one point had Jeremy Sohan running the point before that was cool. Like before that was happening in the NBA, right? And they won the conference. They had a share of the Big 12 regular season conference title, and they had guys out every game. LJ was out for 2 months. Sohan did miss some time. James Akinjo, their All-American point guard, missed some time. Jonathan Chamwa-Chachua goes down on Valentine's Day for the season, much like Joshua Jamuna, and they won the conference. And like, look at it on paper, the reputation that these players had going into the season, like that team talent-wise wasn't much different than this one. But there's just something that's not coming together at all. It's so bizarre to think how offensively challenged this team is when they've got a top 5 pick in the draft playing for them. I can't pinpoint any one thing, but like the injuries, sure, for some games, for the coaching staff, sure, maybe in the non-conference for 4 new starters. Yeah, sure, maybe in the non-conference. But other teams have to deal with that too, and other teams are playing better than they are. And it's just this group in particular. I don't even know if it's any one guy. Like, it's just, it has not clicked.
I feel like Norchad is playing his ass off. I feel like we're hard on him. I feel like even King was a little hard on him last night. I'll have to talk to my man King. I talked to him about this last week too. I said, are we underappreciating Norchad Omier?
Probably.
You know, and I don't think he's like this dumbass who finds himself getting into foul trouble all the time. I think he's just trying to carry this team on his back. I don't think some of those fouls have been stupid in the past. I think
I think there's some times where you question the basketball IQ for a guy who's played a lot of college basketball games.
Yeah, but
yes, but he does. I'm not going to disagree with you in terms
that's
of
who he is. He's not like, as much as he can carry this team. This is what a team looks like when Norchad Omier is your number one guy, right? Like I have a feeling like it's ugly. It's a grind. Like even last night, they almost won or tied it on an ugly ass putback by Norchad. I mean, that was like he's so tired. He looks like it reminds me of like an 8th grade boys basketball team. Like that last shot, he was like, boom, like just tried to get it up there and it almost went in. I don't know, man. How much of this do you think is a lack of chemistry right now? Like, and again, I guess you don't think that because you may have already answered this question for me because in the years past, they've figured it out with depleted teams. But like, you know, like Coach Drew told me and the guy Jess Settles I was calling the game with on Saturday, like guys are getting used to playing with Langston Love. Like, that's weird to think that, and the guys, you know, you have freshmen now, 2 freshmen who are a huge part of the operation, learning how to play with your elder statesman, Langston Love. And I don't think people have questioned Langston Love's effort, like sort of like in a passive aggressive way. I don't know if that's it. I think he might just be like, I think he might be tired as well. Like, like the one, I didn't love the possession where it was like, all right, let's clear out and go one-on-one for Langston. Like towards the end of the game, that was like,
he's not that good of a player.
Huh? Yeah, I don't know if that was the conversation he had in the huddle. Like, come on, coach. Like, I can take this guy.
Jimmy Chitwood?
Yeah, I can make it. But yeah, things look ugly. All right, here's another question I got for you, and then I want to ask you about JJ Joe. But Coach Drew, after the game, said, I really like the way we played in the second half. He was not being like, he wasn't pouring like syrup on shit and calling it pancakes. Like, hey, like I did like the way we played in the second half. If there's one thing to pull from this, if we can be that team going forward and find a way to be that team, like we've got a shot. Do you think there's any possibility that this team, because as much as coaches will tell you there's no place to hide in the Big 12, a good place to hide out is Oklahoma State at home. I don't
you would think. You would think.
Last night.
Yeah.
I don't care. They beat Iowa State. That's a horseshoe up the rear end, if you ask me. Every team's got one of those, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think Oklahoma State's not very good, and I think that is a game where you can get right.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean,
but
if you lose that game.
This team has a chance to do anything in the postseason.
You know, Pete, I mean, you like to call me Debbie Downer kind of thing, but they
have
a chance.
I won't judge you for this.
They have a chance because they rolled the basketballs out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's postseason college basketball. Anyone's got a chance at anything. But I would also say those teams that kind of go Cinderella or can pull off the major upset, at least for one game, they can usually shoot the lights out or something. Baylor can't do that. They just don't do the things that could usually lead to a big one-off upset. But certainly, I mean, you could have a game where VJ goes for 32 points and, you know, Jeremy Roach maybe hits some threes and Norchad has a double-double and you win a closely contested tournament game. I believe that. And I'll also say about what Scott said, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt on this last night in my post game. I was saying, like, you know, this not for nothing, but usually, and what you certainly saw up close and personal in Colorado on Saturday, for a lot of their losses, it's like they go through the motions for 35 minutes, 36 minutes, and then they put in a hell of a shift and they make it interesting, which is what they did against Colorado, right? Yeah. I mean, Colorado, I think, was trying to throw that game, shave some points or something. I don't know what the hell happened in the last 2 minutes. But at least in this game, they did it for a whole half, right? Like there's, you know, that Kansas game was another one. They just showed manic, crazy effort for a whole half and had one of the great comebacks in their history. And like that was, you saw that great focused, determined effort in the second half last night for 20 minutes rather than 3. So I think that is something. It sounds like such a loser mentality, but it's like that is something that you didn't have to wait that long for it to get turned on. But once again, it's like this is where Scott Drew is saying there's no off nights in the Big 12. I mean, you rested on your laurels for 10 minutes, really, in that first half, and Cincinnati went nuts. You know, I think they hit 7 of their first 12 threes or something like that, and you can't afford to dig yourself a hole like that in this league, specifically on the road. Maybe you can get away with it against a bad Oklahoma State team at home on Saturday, but not against a team that's playing in front of 11,000 in a home crowd that is on the bubble, that is looking to make the tournament. It's just not going to happen.
And by the way, I think it's safe to say now, when you see Marino Dubravicic in the game, that is honestly, that's looks like an L to me. I'm like, oh boy, like when he's in the game, you're especially late, right? When like Norchad's in foul trouble, and it's like these are crucial minutes this dude's playing. And I talked to somebody around Baylor on Saturday before the game, and I was like, yeah, coach told us like he might play Marino today. And he goes, I'll believe that when I see it. Well, we're seeing it. Like,
it's like, man, it's like, just imagine you're in a sports bar just full of dudes, and there's one hot chick in a bikini with a couple of pitchers of beer. That's what it's like when Marino Dubravicic is on the floor. The other team's like, I know exactly where I'm going. I'm going right after that. Like it's, and I feel for the kid. Like I mean, he's not. Yeah. When you sign a kid from Croatia in July, you're not expecting him to play meaningful minutes for you in late February in the Big 12. You're expecting him to be a project. And I will say Baylor brought this upon themselves by not getting enough depth at that position that could play at this level right now. But yeah, the kid. I think
Coach Drew would admit that now.
Yes, and I think he would also. He's not going to be up there and be like Marino Dubravicic -8. Man, he killed us tonight. You know, I think they kind of know the score of how much they can play.
Can you imagine if he was like, "Yeah, we were doing great."
I can't play this fucking Dubravicic guy, man. That would be
all right.
Unbelievable.
Let's transition. No way to transition, but we got to because I got to get your thoughts. You're a Baylor guy through and through, and you're an old school sports guy too. So collectively, you know about J.J. Joe, his career, J.J. Joe as a man, and J.J. Joe in his second act as a broadcaster. Can you put into context what he has meant to Baylor football and the university as a whole?
Yeah.
Obviously for people, if you're just joining us, J.J. Joe passing away unexpectedly. In the past few days.
Yeah, just horrible news, like to hear that. I mean, young, right, about 50. It's just way, way, way too soon. And the first thing I would think about with J.J. Joe is the word ambassador, right? Or servant leader, if you'd like that too. You know, more so than just the football player and the broadcaster. Really great guy, you know, never met a stranger kind of thing. I only ran into JJ a few times. I interviewed him a few times. He couldn't have been nicer. And I mean, you could just feel the love for Baylor too. Like no joke. I mean, he loved talking about Baylor, propping up Baylor. A couple of my interviews with him were about Grant Taff, and I mean, just the love that he had talking about Coach Taff and the rise of this program. And certainly he's someone who went through a lot with Baylor football. You know, he came in, he was a highly recruited guy at the time from Arlington Lamar, where Baylor was kind of in some transition in terms of going from some really good teams in the mid 80s, kind of not great at the late 80s, to pretty good again in the early 90s. And he was a big part of that. And he would always talk about the rise of this program. You could tell how proud it was for him, for the school and the program to be on the rise that it had, because then he sees, you know, some terrible years in the late 90s. And by the time they're turning it around, he's in the broadcast booth with John Morris, and just really one of the staples of our Saturdays, man. And just such a nice guy around the press box and with young reporters. And this is a huge loss. Like this really sucks for a guy who was such a part of the Baylor community, not just the football team. Brutal, man. It's just awful. And I know, you know, plenty of our friends in the Waco media were even closer to him. You know, our guy Mosley has known JJ forever. Like, I mean, he's known JJ. He watched JJ play in high school 35 years ago. So I know this is really tough for a lot of those people who have known him for a long time. It's just
Mosley. I listened to some of those interviews, and you could tell there was a connection between the two of them.
Oh yeah,
and JJ. It was just, you know, I got to interview him one time for that Inside the 12 show, and we got done and we looked around and we were like, dude, that's the best guy we've had on all year long. Like
hell of an analyst too, man. Like truly
amazing.
Yeah.
Like, really I didn't get to know him at all, but you would be hard pressed. You'd have to wake up early in the morning and spend all day. And I still don't know if you'd find somebody to say anything negative about him. Maybe an opposing defensive coordinator.
Yeah, you know, that's about your best bet. Yeah.
How good was he as a player? I just want you to put on your historian cap.
Well, to be fair, I was not there, but I watched a lot from that time. No, JJ was a good player, and actually probably a little underrated as a passer. Look at the highlights here on YouTube, man. He could chuck it. That's against the defending national champs, Colorado, by the way. But one of those like classic. And you didn't have a lot of these back then. You'd have kind of, you know, the running quarterbacks and the passing quarterbacks. Dual threat was still not huge in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. But this was kind of early days of 11th guy you have to defend. And what I really appreciated, and I've heard a lot of this from Mosley and from Grant Taff over the years, was that Coach Taff would talk about he gave more responsibility to J.J. Joe than any other quarterback he had. You know, in terms of reading defenses, both at the line of scrimmage and once the ball is snapped. And JJ started a lot of games at Baylor and has a lot of records at Baylor, not just because of his athletic ability, but because of his intelligence and being another coach on the field. But those were some good teams, man. Those were some good teams in the early 90s, seeing the great legendary Grant Taff out with a Sun Bowl victory in 1992. The kids would say JJ was a problem. He was a problem. That's a guy you had to game plan around for sure. And the running ability was great. But again, underrated as a passer. JJ could sling that thing a little bit, man. And you look at the Baylor record books, and his name is all over it. And there's only a few clips of him playing in high school. I mean, talk about man amongst boys. He was phenomenal. So, yeah, good, hell of a player as well.
Well, Cam, it's funny. On a day that's so sad, it's nice to, you know, share a little joy about a guy who was very special to I know, like the Baylor family and, you know, Baylor people all over the country. So I appreciate you doing that.
Of course, man. And like, truly, there are so many people that knew JJ better than I did, but like, I think they'll all tell you, just absolute ray of sunshine everywhere he went. Like you knew when JJ entered the media level at McLean Stadium. I'll say that from my time. And that's a good thing. It's not like oh no, JJ's around the corner. Like you knew when he was there. So that's a tough loss for the Baylor family for sure.
I think you summarized it, you know, brutal. When I texted you last night, just brutal.
Yeah.
All right, Cam Stewart, catch him on Locked On Baylor. Catch him on the Cam Show coming up after this show on the Rogue Media Network. He does it all from Chicago, and he does it all really well. By the way, yesterday I was doing like some parodies of your Locked On Baylor, like your teasers.
Yeah.
Like coming up, what
Well,
Janet
soft
Jackson and Luther Vandross have to do with VJ Edgecombe's shooting slump. That's next. Locked on Baylor.
That would be pretty good, dude.
Well, we were talking about how you and Toll are like the best at that, and it's true. I mean, you guys are really good at that, and it pays off. So
it's a big part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Locked On Podcast Network. All right, Cam, we appreciate you, man. Holler at me if you need me. All right, that was Cam Stewart. This is the Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. We're live in Tucson, Arizona. I'll take you into the game I'm doing tonight. Talk to you real quickly about some other stuff, and we'll shut it down here from Tucson. Coming back in a couple minutes. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. We'll be right back.
Shades is your trusted partner in stage lighting, offering a wide range of high-quality, innovative products since 2015. With designs that cater to all needs, fast delivery, and affordable prices, we provide exceptional customer service to ensure your satisfaction. With warehouses across the globe and sales in over 100 countries, Sheds is quickly becoming one of the most recognized names in the stage lighting industry. Visit shehds.com today to discover top-tier stage lighting solutions and become part of our global network.
Introducing Muck-Off's classic pink bike cleaner, powered by revolutionary nanotechnology that breaks down dirt and grime on a microscopic level while protecting your bike's delicate finish. Developed by our mad developer Alex and tested by riders, our products are made by riders for riders. Discover more at us.muc-off.com, where we break the mold to bring you the best in bike care.
At Open Goal USA, we're revolutionizing training for both soccer and lacrosse with our innovative portable rebounders. Perfect for players of all ages and skill levels, our rebounders improve accuracy, control, and technique in both sports. Built with premium materials for durability and ease of use, they're ideal for training anywhere, anytime. Whether you're perfecting your soccer game or sharpening your lacrosse skills, Open Goal USA has you covered. Visit OpenGoalUSA.com and elevate your training today.
Chapellex is a full-category shapewear brand dedicated to providing women with exceptional comfort and support. We offer thoughtfully designed solutions that blend style with functionality, empowering women to feel confident and at ease every day. Chapellex is redefining what it means to have a perfect body. Our mission celebrates body positivity, embracing every shape and size, because true beauty lies in authenticity. Visit shapellx.com today and join a movement towards self-love, acceptance, and confidence.
Indulge in Blum's luxurious Lotus flower rolls. The green Lotus roll bursts with a caramel apple flavor, while the blue Lotus roll offers a smooth berry cream sensation. With our Crush for Flavor technology, enjoy an instant burst of natural, intense flavor anytime you desire. Elevate your experience with the finest creations nature has to offer. Explore the full collection at blumleaf.com. That's BLUUMLEAF.com. Blumleaf. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner. At Terrapin Ridge Farms, they believe in the joy of effortless entertaining. Inspired by CEO Mary O'Donnell's mom and her legendary holiday parties, they've crafted a line of gourmet foods that turn any meal into a celebration. From savory jams to mustards, aiolis, and more, their products are made with love, bringing unforgettable flavors to your table. Whether it's a casual get-together or a special occasion, they make it easy to impress. Terrapin Ridge Farms, where great food and great memories come together. Visit them at terrapinridge.com. Terrapin Ridge.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacics. We got some breaking news for you, courtesy of my man, Scotty Swingler. My buddy and a guest of this show, who I was going to plan to have on in the coming months for the draft. I used to work with this guy, Jim Nagy, is the Senior Bowl executive director who lives with his lovely wife and family in Mobile, Alabama. It looks like he'll be relocating to Norman. This is Oklahoma Football tweeted this. OU hires Jim Nagy as general manager for football to lead roster building, player evaluation, recruiting, and compensation. By the way I read that is why I'm no longer a news anchor, because I suck at it. Let's try one more time. OU hires Jim Nagy as general manager for football to lead roster building, player evaluation, recruiting, and compensation. Welcome to Norman. Damn, times they are a-changing. You know, when you have a guy like, let's go to UNC, right? Michael Lombardi is now the football general manager for Bill Belichick and North Carolina. Well, Jim Nagy, another guy with NFL experience. He was a scout all over the NFL. Christy tells me I need to stop burping. I do need to stop burping. I just need to start burping like Howard Stern does, just like bleh, rather than do like the fake one where it seems like I'm almost vomiting, Christy says. But a great hire for Oklahoma. Jim Nagy is amazing. Most recently, I was about to say, was a scout for the Seahawks when they won a Super Bowl. He's real tight with John Snyder there, their general manager, and good for Jim, dude. Jim is a great dude. Jim and I used to run the streets when we were both younger. We both lived in New York and worked for the War Room and Football Scouts, worked with Todd McShay. Jim's a great guy. And, I'm happy to see Jim succeed. And hopefully I will succeed tonight. These are the boards for tonight's game. You can see them. We've got all the notes there. We've got some more notes to go, but it is Utah and Arizona. Utah just fired their coach, Craig Smith, which will be a big topic of conversation. I was on the Big 12 show this morning with James Wessling and Ari Temkin. That's the Big 12 Today show. It's on TuneIn, and I was promoting Rogue Media, of course, and talking a little bit about the situation with Craig Smith getting fired and who Utah might hire. Andre Miller's a guy they could possibly hire. I worked with Andre when I was working with the 76ers, and Andre is a different dude, and he was quiet. I mean, and he's a tough guy. He's from Compton, California, and he's as smart as they come. He knows where everybody is on the floor. His name's being kicked around as a possible candidate for the job. We mentioned Alex Jensen, Dallas Mavericks assistant, who was in Los Angeles last night for that rough situation for anybody associated with the Mavs, losing to Luka and the Lakers. And then another guy, Cody Feger, is a guy who coached at BYU. He's now an assistant at Kentucky.
Hey, y'all. We lost Pete for a second. adventures brought to you by. Here comes our guy.
Hey! All right.
Oh, he's back.
Okay, let's wrap it up. By the way, I want to thank Dylan. Welcome aboard, dude. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate the comments. Bear the truth. You're my main man. You're like you're a tent pole of this whole deal. And I agree. Like the missed layups, not going hard to the hoop, that's an issue. But I do think they can rectify it. So that's all for today's show. I'm going to hop on Cam's show. If you want to check that out, I'm going to talk about Rob Gronkowski returning to the NFL. We'll be back. Actually, tomorrow is a special best of show because I'll be traveling all day into the afternoon, and then I have the Big 12 show, and then I have to go back to the airport to travel again because I got a game this weekend. So there's just no way we can get a show in Thursday that would be worth, I want to give you guys good stuff, and we haven't missed one show yet. So we're going to have a best of Baylor where you're going to hear from some of the best Baylor football players of all time talking to me. You don't want to miss it. And then we'll be back live again Friday. But you guys are the best. Keep watching. Keep loving. And RIP to JJ Joe. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Sports.
We are Rogue Media Sports.